Welcome friends, I welcome you to this video. I welcome you to this channel. My name is Anthony. I'm a channeler of 6.9 density Alpha Draconis, race name KALASK, and tonight I've asked him to speak about emotions, to touch on our human emotions. How do we process emotions? How do we process fear and panic, or being shy and reserved? But also too, do they have emotions? Do they have emotions of panic or fear when they go to a battle, or when they go to a conflict, or a simple meeting with someone that they disagree with? Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in a few minutes. The emotions of extraterrestrials, the emotions of KALASK, the emotions of us, the emotions of even me personally, as I speak through this human vessel, our dear friend Anthony, the channeler. Yes, the emotions, many topics about the emotions that can be covered. Many topics of this emotion that can always be discussed, because these are one aspect of human beings, what makes you weak. And when we say this, we don't mean this in any form of disrespect. Emotions, the weak emotions, is what makes you so suspended and crippled at times. Do we have these emotions? We were asked by one of the human friends Anthony brought forward. She has asked, do these emotions make us weak? How do we deal with emotions? With fear or crying or sadness, being devastated, and etc., etc. And yes, do we feel things? Of course we feel things. We're not some robots, draconian beings or organic beings. We are very physical. We have hearts as you do, we have blood as you do. Our blood color is different, and we have more hearts than you do, placed in different locations. Taller, bigger, wider, thicker, yes. More consciousness, yes. More strength, yes. All these things, yes, yes. But the emotion aspect, we also feel emotions. Some human beings are under the impression that alpha draconian beings, because they're so bloodthirsty savages and menaces, that they have no emotions. In this statement, which we often hear, there's significant levels of judgment, but this is fine. We don't judge you back. We simply observe your judgments. We simply observe your levels of hate and even rage at draconians or reptilians or insectoid beings, for the reasons of simply being scared, simply being petrified, simply not know, simply feel something within your own DNA, simply feel something from within your layers that you have no identification or awareness of, simply something that comes from your own ancestral fear that you don't know what it is, but you feel it. Same reason you don't know why it would be petrifying to see the eyes in front of you of any reptilian or any insectoid. That you know it would be petrified. Yes, you're correct, it would be. The emotions will be so overflowing you, not emotions of any excitement, not emotions of any joy, or simply being surprised. There's nothing surprising about ancestral fear. There's not a lot of talk within your spiritual community that has to do with fear, that has to do with ancestral fear. These things are quite separate. Fear and respect, which we've already shared within the Earth's Collective, are also separate. Some humans will say that when someone fears you, they respect you. This is not true. This is wrong. Is fear of ghosts the same as ancestral fear of reptilians the same? No, it isn't. The emotions you would feel during those experiences of exchanges of physicalities would cripple you, would suspend you, would paralyze you from even breathing. We don't mean to scare you, we're simply telling you, why is it that extraterrestrial contact in physicality aspect within your bedrooms, living rooms, parks, and nature doesn't happen too often? On some extremely microscopic, minuscule percentages of time it does. But most of the time it doesn't. The emotions would absolutely be overwhelming for you. Emotions of crying is not what we mean. Emotions of feeling such largest levels of adrenaline, heart pulses that you've never felt before. As far as the emotions within our own rank, our own race, no, there isn't any that would be labeled in the English language as weak. When we go into a war, a simple battle, not even using ships, not even using technologies, a simple battle of face-to-face combat, do we have fear that we would die? No, we don't. because we don't see death as something horrible, as something so scary, something that is the end of the world and the end of our existence. We don't see it this way. Yes, it is true that we have figured out a way to exit the incarnation process altogether. Yes, we don't need to go to any oneness or source or the opposite of source. We're fine at where we are in our physicality. It will continue to stay here. But do we need to worry about death? No. Death is seen as an honorable thing to do, a very prideful action. An action that can represent the entirety of your race. An action where you simply desire to shut down your system and transfer your consciousness into a new KALASK member. By new, we don't mean a baby that cries and whines when it's hungry. Our children are equipped as us are. They understand everything that an adult would understand. At default, they're made this way, without any deficiencies of cancer or autism, etc. The emotions are, of course, removed that are weak emotions. Strengths are implemented. When we have an emotion of fear, it wouldn't be something that we're petrified or scared of. It would be more along the lines that if we implement something in our own lives, how will this change us? Will this change us? Would it change us? Could it change us? So it's not necessarily a fear of something, it's more of a curiosity of something that if it does change us, how will we work? How will we react? How will we exist? How will we operate? What will be our mechanism? How will this affect others? So it wouldn't necessarily be a fear, as fear is a human language word. Just like the word honor, you very often use to pretty yourselves up like makeup. So you can sound fancy, as honor isn't a word to us. In fact, the term honor, that term, the meaning of that term, doesn't exist in our own language, doesn't exist in our own society or in our own culture. It is already embedded within us. We don't know anything different. We don't know how to simply lie. This isn't permitted within our culture anyway. So why are we connecting to human beings? It isn't out of any lies. We already have brought forward the information in previous statements with full transparency. We desire to help humans. Those humans that understand reptilian consciousness and those humans who appreciate reptilian consciousness. And by reptilian, we mean draconian, alpha draconian, ancient reptilian. Our words, our energy, our advice isn't for everyone. Lies is something important that within our society is to be mentioned as lies we don't tolerate. No lies. No lies is a small lie. No lies is a big lie. No lie we consider as a white lie. If you simply walk by a homeless person sitting on the concrete or asphalt and he says to you, "Excuse me, do you have $1 money? Do you have one to give me? One of your monies?" It says, "Sorry, I don't have any smaller coin change." But you do. You could simply give him that, but you don't want to. This is a white lie. Every human lies every day. All humans do. This is normal. It's fine. Lies isn't something we need to do. We're all fully telepathic, for one. For two, we respect each other to such degree that the lie would be seen as a large form of stupidity and disrespect all combined together in an unnecessary need to do. We don't tolerate lies. We don't accept lies. We don't absolutely in any way suggest lies. The monitoring aspect of Anthony himself, before we've even permitted him to say our name, we monitored enough to know this human doesn't believe in lies. This is one of the reasons why he was selected to work with us amongst a few others. Lies isn't something that's tolerated. States of fear, emotions of panic isn't something that we even feel. Are we aware of our emotions? Of course it is. Some humans will even say, to a degree, that the KALASK race or any other draconian race, particularly alpha draconians, are not aware or in tunement with their own hearts or emotions. We can assure you, million ways from Sunday, we're quite fine and in full tunement, in tune with our own emotions, energies, centeredness, and our greatness. Majority of our own chakras are not depicted in the colors that you depicted. Mainly they're all red, yes, but we're quite aware of who we are. This is why we're so respected within the galaxy and the galaxies. Some fear, most respect. They understand our greatness. They understand the evolution and the path we've taken to get to where we are, to even be allowed to exist, to even be allowed to live and to live. Do we have an emotion of a surprise? Yes. Humans surprise us all the time. Even human beings, yes. We see so much desire to grow, so much potential to grow, so much need and want to grow. This is respected. This is a great thing to see. You've stripped away yourself from fears of us. You've stripped away yourself from any levels of galactic threats and fears and simply said that you deserve to live. You have a right to live. You have the same free will as all other beings do, and you want to know more. This is a respectful thing to see. This we highly recommend. This we suggest. We have curiosity. We have this emotion of sometimes shock or even surprises that comes to us from certain great things that humans do for one another, to one another. Sacrifices that do every day to better someone else, to give someone else something without needing anything or wanting anything or asking for anything in return or even mentioning the sacrifices that you've done. You've just given something to someone. That is respectful. Some of you don't wish to be participating in these boring religious talks that some deity is coming, returning to earth. Some want more. Some have the courage to even stand against the society or in the internet or your church collective or any other religious collective, if your Abrahamic religious calls them churches and temples and so forth. And you want to stand even against your own family because you want to know more. You want to learn more. This is respected. So humans surprise us all the time. We are even surprised that sometimes certain things humans do because they want to see what happens when they simply don't give up. It is okay to fail, but it is a must to get back up. Humans do this rarely, and this is surprising to us. This is a great thing, so we're learning a lot. Thank you for that knowledge. Do we experience emotion in a way that human beings do? No, we don't. We're pre-equipped with many different mechanisms and operating systems, as your own computers do, for us to not to feel weak things, not to be scared. For example, we can give you one example. When we experience another race, and that a member of that race or an entire group of that race wishes to confront us or speak with us or sell us something in a way of a speech, an idea, a proposal. One moment, water needed. As we were saying, then we can simply listen, but within ourselves there's a system that's built, pre-built, to detect any forms of deception. You have machines, you're hooked up to with wires called polygraphs. We have this pre-built within our own system, within our own layers. Any statement by any being, any statement by any non-physical consciousness is always assessed to see the percentages of truths and lies. So we have certain things that we're able to utilize and see, that we don't even need to worry about an emotion. We don't even need to worry about any levels of panic or confusion. Everything we already perceive, understand, dissect, and integrate immediately. Even under 1 of your seconds, even under 0.1 of your seconds. One time we were asked by one of Anthony's friends, military human himself, and he said, how do you perceive or even identify a threat of another war coming your way? A military tactic, some levels of bombing, scouts or investigations or reconnaissance. This wouldn't be possible to bring upon us. Not because we have scouts everywhere, not because we have hybrid groups and hybrid races everywhere, simply because it wouldn't be possible. We would know this when that form is even being formed within the minds of those beings. When the thoughts and the energies and the ideas are being formed is what we're trying to say. The thought of an attack, the thought of spying, the thought of reconnaissance. By the time that is even formed, finalized or approved, we would know. As far as emotions are concerned for human beings, when we say weak, we don't mean this as disrespect. It's easy to disrespect you. We're not here to disrespect you. We mean you no mocking. We're only identifying something that other beings don't want to identify because they wish to keep you and maintain you in a weak state. They tell you to stay right here because you'll be fine, yet you can operate right over here or higher. They tell you that the light and the love will solve all of your problems and make you incredibly powerful. Yes, heart chakra is important. Love itself is important for your own beings. You'll need an extraordinary level of resilience within life. You need power. You don't need to hug each other more. You already love one another so enough that other races that don't have that capacity to love are quite envious and jealous of you. Yes, this is true. Human beings need strength. Strengths. You need empowerment as well as the right tutorage of advice and advice giving, advice being out, advice being handed out. The emotions, if you're able to take your two fingers and as you tune your own radios and knobs on your own stoves, if you can, turn down a few notches of your emotions and you'll see just how powerful you can be, how unmoved you can be, how emotionless you can be. Yes, emotionless. You'll be able to see that the strength is right there within you. Turn off your emotions. Welcome back, friends. Welcome to this transmission in relation to emotions. For more information on my channeling and 2025 live channeling events across the United States and Europe, including the upcoming KALASK's book, you can visit my website at www.kalask.ca, and serious inquiries can be sent to my admin team at info@kalask.ca. Thank you for watching. I greet you all in strength and honor. Good night.